Hello, everybody. The Flash Season 6 has started. I've watched it last night on the CW app, and I'm going to say it is pretty amazing. I really love it when a new Flash season starts because we've waited for it for a while, and then we get the new episode. Last night, I watched the Season 5 finale and the new Flash episode so that I can get caught up, and I got to say it's really good. So, this episode kind of starts out with the Flash and his friends and family having a meal together, and they're trying to catch up with each other and stuff. And I really like the start of this season. It's a really good start to a new season. I'm going to dive deeper into it. Black holes, black holes. So this new episode has a black hole in it, and it is caused by a guy named Chester. And I really like this addition to the episode. It reminds me a lot of Doctor Who. So this edition of Chester and the black holes, I really found it entertaining when they were reacting to the Chester's videos. It was funny him talking about Natalie and stuff, and I really like that. And I also really like Ramsey, Caitlin's friend that we haven't really gotten to meet yet. And I really like how they just in the show they put friendships in there that we didn't know about, but they've always kind of been friends. I really like that, and it's really cool, I think. So yeah, the episode starts out with them having like a family get together meal, and they're all happy, and Barry and Iris are just trying to hide being sad of Nora's death and stuff, and so that they've moved on, but in reality they didn't move on. They're still sad about it, and they're still grieving her, which is understandable. And I forgot to say that in the beginning of the episode, Godspeed from season 5 returned, but it wasn't the Godspeed that we know. It seems like that they've been catching a whole bunch of different Godspeeds, and they're all muted for some reason, which I think that's actually pretty cool. And then they moved on to their family dinner event that they had. So I didn't cover that up, sorry. And then Iris went to go get her jacket that was going to be Nora's for when she became XS, and she needed it to become XS, she thought. And that's when the black hole shenanigans started to happen that Chester made on accident. And that's when Iris almost gets sucked by the black hole, and she almost gets killed because she tries to look for the jacket or the costume that's going to be Nora's suit or whatever, and that's just how it happens, and she survives, thankfully. And then Barry asks Iris after that, why did you go to the junkyard? Like, why would you risk that? And then Iris says, I went to the junkyard because I needed to get the jacket for Nora so that she could become XS in the future. And then Iris says that she thinks that she kind of wishes that she was swallowed up by the black hole, and that there's no support group for what they're going through. So Barry and Iris kind of hug it out, and they try to comfort each other, I guess. And then Iris finds out that the person behind the black holes, who's responsible for it, is named Chester. So they try to figure out what's going on with him and stuff so that they can stop it. And then they show the video of him experimenting on stuff, and he's talking about his crush Natalie, the girl who he wants to go out with, and then with his experiments, he accidentally makes the black hole. And like I said, I really love the reactions of them when they see Chester. It's like Ralph is like, "Oh, I love this guy," it's really funny. And then they see what he does, and they go, "Maybe not so much, but he's actually a pretty cool guy. He's not actually evil or anything." And then Iris goes to try to ask Chester some questions. Unfortunately, he isn't all the way there, and he's not all the way himself like he was before the black hole thing accident happened. And then Iris sees Chester tapping on the table, and it means something. And then they figure out that Chester's consciousness is attached to the black hole somehow. So they want to try to get his consciousness back to Chester so that he can be his normal self again. And then Cisco comes up with a solution. If they can't figure out anything, then they'll have to kill Chester to save the whole city. And then Barry was like, no, man, we're not going to kill him. We're going to figure out a solution so that we can keep him alive. So you're going to figure it out now. And then they figured out a solution to make that work. And it's pretty awesome, but I don't remember it all correctly. I kind of remember a little bit of it, but not the whole thing. But they figured out how to get his consciousness back to Chester so that he could be his normal self. Flash goes into the black hole, and they play a 80s song called Flash. That's really cool, I think. And then they save Chester. They put him in a cell thingy so that he can heal. And he has like a weird glowing light thing in his eyes, as you can see in the picture. And he's going to heal from that, thankfully. And then the episode is almost to its conclusion. And then Barry and Iris goes to the time vault, and Barry shows Iris that he got the suit of Nora. And then basically they said they could be each other's support group. And then the Monitor shows up, and they find out that the Monitor is the one who's stopped Nora's message, who fried Nora's message in the beginning of the episode. Sorry, I forgot to cover that one up too. There's so much happens in this little 42-minute episode. Here is when they start to set up the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover again. And then the Monitor shows up and tells them that the Nora message thingy being destroyed is a side effect of him interfering. And he tells them that Barry has to disappear. He has to die in the future. And that shocks them. And then Barry is like, you gotta tell me how to stop this. And the Monitor is like, no, can't stop this. It has to happen. I gotta think that this guy could be the anti-Monitor that people are talking about, because I do not think that the Flash will die at the end of the season, because they're contractually obligated to do 7 seasons. So I am believing 100% that the Flash will not die in this season. But if he does, they could do a season without Grant Gustin, but I don't think that will happen. And then that's how the episode ends. So the episode starts with them with their feast, dinner feast, and the whole Godspeed stuff before that. And then dinner gets interrupted, and then like Caitlin has to go, and then they all have to go do something. And Caitlin goes to her old friend's funeral, and then they later have a cup of coffee together after they figure out that Killer Frost is having the weird freeze problems. And then she talks to Ramsey, and she wants him to help her with cancer, to cure cancer, basically, because his mom died from cancer called ALS or something, HLS or something like that. And so he wants to save people's lives, but Caitlin doesn't want to do that. Well, she wants to save people's lives. It's just that the approach, the way Ramsey puts it, that means she doesn't agree with him. that it can do something wrong and that it might not work or something like that. So she is cautious. So Ramsey is the big bad of the season. Not the only big bad though, because they tease that there's more than one big bad in the new season. And then Caitlin and Killer Frost lets Killer Frost take control of the body. So that means I guess there's going to be more Killer Frost than Caitlin this season. So that Killer Frost can basically live her own life like Ralph suggested earlier in the episode. And I gotta say, when Ralph came back, I really loved that moment when he's like, "My name's Ralph Dibney," and he's talking about his journey and of his missing persons case. So I really love Ralph again in this episode. Ralph is one of my favorite characters. So I'm gonna give The Flash season 6 episode 1 Into the Void 10 stars. I really enjoyed this episode. It's everything The Flash is, and I love it. I love the comedy. I love the action, and I really love that song that they used, Flash. It was awesome. I love it when Cisco pulls out stones, and he's like, "I've been waiting to do this since day one," and it starts playing the mighty Flash. I really love that part. So this is a really good start to, I will assume, to be a really good season, as good as all the others. There's not one season I like more. There's not one season I like less. I'm not one of those type of critics. I enjoy every season of The Flash, and I cannot wait for the rest of these episodes and the new crossover that's coming. So that's my breakdown and review, and I hope y'all have a good day.
Subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell. Goodbye.